He does not like the snow and ice. He likes the beaches, much more nice.
Is abandoning his state. It's Bon Voyage, MTV, spring break style, where in Cancun the temperature is a lovely 85 degrees, but in the city that he flew from, home to the people that he serves, it's near freezing there.
He took his kids to Cancun, and the internet almost immediately exploded. Pictures of the senator in the airport prompted the frenzy. Then more emerged on the plane.
What makes this even worse is that Cruz used police resources in the middle of said crisis to make his way to the Sky Zone.
Ted fled. Senator Snowbird. Cancun Cruz.
Busted in Cancun, at first Ted Cruz asked for sympathy.
Millions of Texans had lost power, had lost heat, and had been hurt. And our family was among them. We had no heat and no power.
No heat and no power? 2 days earlier, Cruz had said everything in his house was fine.
Thankfully, my home, we didn't lose power, so right now we've got a bunch of the neighborhood kids all over playing with our girls.
So by the time Cruz returned to Houston, the alleged power outage had been, you guessed it, 2 days. And the PR debacle was his children's fault.
We've got two girls who have been cold for two days and haven't had heat or power, and they're saying, hey, look, we don't have school. Why don't we go? Let's get out of here. I think there are a lot of parents that'd be like, all right, if I can do this, great.
No, not great. Hello, everybody. I'm David Shuster, and thanks for joining us. It takes a special kind of person to blame your own children for your PR debacle, but that's what Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas has done. When his kids complained about lack of electricity, school's going to be out for a couple days, Cruz could have set an example. Like a lot of parents, he might have said, you know what? We're going to volunteer. We're going to help our neighbors and do everything humanly possible to try to keep them from freezing to death. Instead, it was, okay, let's go to Mexico. So would Ted Cruz have done this trip and stayed in Cancun if he had not gotten caught? Of course he would have. Some of Ted Cruz's allies say, look, there's only so much, in fact, there's really not much that a U.S. senator can do about a state emergency like what Texas has been going through. But that's nonsense. There's a lot that a senator can do in terms of making sure that federal resources are starting to pour in. And oh, by the way, part of the role of a leader is to be there with your constituents, to show empathy and sympathy for them and say, you know what, we're all in this together. It's not, oh, you go freeze to death while I go to a luxury resort down in Cancun where the weather is warm. A couple of years ago, when Ted Cruz was running for re-election in the U.S. Senate, he talked about his empathy during Hurricane Harvey in several advertising spots.
No official, state or federal, has been more involved in the recovery of Galveston County than Senator Ted Cruz.
When the hurricane hit, you stood up for Texas, and Ted Cruz stood up for you.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
That was 2 years ago. Back then, Ted Cruz was facing a tough Senate re-election. Right now, he's not facing anything. His next re-election will be in 4 years for the Senate, or maybe in 3 years he'll have to come out and officially declare that he's running for the Republican presidential nomination. And there is every indication, according to political insiders, that Ted Cruz does want to run for president in 2024. He's a very slick guy. He's also said to be very smart. And the Republican base is dumb enough that, well, Ted Cruz might actually have a chance in winning the Republican presidential nomination. But take note, whether you call Ted Cruz Lying Ted or now Flying Ted, he is somebody who, as we've seen again, is all about himself. And while that may be funny in some instances, and as we saw with the last president, it can be quite humorous, it's also dangerous.